On the day Zhou Bai officially became a renter, a mysterious game came. She exchanged several buildings in her city for a mysterious reward. After the game was officially launched, her reward came, "Host, do you want to bind the Lord token?" Not long after, she built her territory into one of the best big cities and continued to work as a renter. Novel keywords. Game adventure. I rely on building territory to become a landlady without pop-ups. Game adventure. I rely on building territory to become a landlady. Download the complete text. Game adventure. I rely on building territory to become a landlady. Latest chapters to read. Chapter 1. Doomsday Games Come. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Doomsday Games Come, we are ready to travel around the world, and you are the one who owns a few buildings at home. Zhou Jinping placed the computer for registering tenant information in front of Zhou Bai, confidently saying, "Okay." Zhou Bai responded, laughing uncontrollably. She, Zhou Bai, is going to become a landlady who eats, drinks, and sleeps today. Or the kind that only accepts money. She has already found a good person to handle other trivial matters. You look silly. Zhou Jinping nodded his daughter's head, and without hesitation rose that his daughter's lifelong pursuit was to have more money, eat and die. But since she likes it, just let her do. With their property, they can support her for several lifetimes. Zhou Bai turned a deaf ear to Zhou Jinping's words and said directly, "You guys had a great time. Remember to take more photos for me, even if I have played before." "Well, I'll remember to send you a gift when I go somewhere," Zhou Jinping said, his gaze fixed on Zhou Bai with a hint of softness. Just as the two father and daughter were about to chat, suddenly a sizzling sound echoed in their minds. Before they could react, a virtual screen suddenly appeared in front of them. Doomsday game loading. "Dad, have you seen it?" Zhou Bai looked at the extra screen in front of him and couldn't help but say something. Zhou Jinping's eyes became a bit serious. "I saw it." At this moment, Ding Qiuro hurriedly came in from outside and said, "Husband, Xiao Bai, suddenly there are words in front of me." "We all have it," Zhou Bailian hurriedly said. "I'll check online." Then, with some trembling hands, he took out his phone. Sure enough, similar topics are already everywhere online. Hashtag the end of the world has arrived. Hashtag what is Doomsday Games. Hashtag are aliens playing pranks. Hashtag Zhou Bai casually entered one and saw many people's comments. The sudden appearance of Doomsday game loading in front of me is too scary. Is Doomsday coming? I have asked my family and friends around me, and I feel that it is global in nature. I finally bought a house, and now I'm about to start a new life. The end of the day is here. My goodness, you play with us. So did aliens invade Blue Star? Will there be zombies in the Resident Evil? No. If there were zombies, I would rather commit suicide. Everyone, hurry up and stock up on some food. I see someone is already rushing to buy it. Yes, go hoard supplies. By the way, there are still weapons. Weapons. In this peaceful and prosperous era, where can we buy weapons, that is, kitchen knives? A kitchen knife is also worth it. It's better than nothing. Here are some must-have lists for the apocalypse. Seeing this, Zhou Bai couldn't wait to speak up and said, "Dad, Mom, let's go out and buy some food and drinks to store at home. We also have knives. Buy more." Right. With this Doomsday game, everyone must be fighting for supplies. Ding Qiuro agreed. "I'll go." "You stay at home," Zhou Jinping hurriedly said. He could even imagine it, because this sudden apocalyptic game might not be calm outside. "Dad, I'll be with you, Mom will take care of the house," Zhou Bai said subconsciously. There must be someone watching when grabbing supplies. "I'm going too, with the whole family," Ding Qiuro insisted. She was afraid of any accidents, so she felt more at ease together. Looking at his wife and daughter's firm gaze, Zhou Jinping nodded helplessly and said, "Then let's go together. But you must stay close to me." However, before going out, Zhou Jinping still took a fruit knife and put it in his pocket. The Zhou family lived in a detached villa, and the three of them smoothly arrived at the first-floor garage. At this time, cars in the community were also heading towards the nearby large supermarket one after another. Zhou Jinping is also preparing to go to the largest supermarket nearby. Just as the car had just driven a short distance, it suddenly stopped on its own, and at the same time, the screen in front of the three had changed. Doomsday game loading completed, matching in progress, matching completed, blue star has been fully gamified, dear host, will all assets under your name be converted into the game's common currency? With the emergence of these pieces of information, a family of three were directly immersed in the wilderness, surrounded by a misty atmosphere, as if only their families were left in the world. The three of them looked at each other, and after communicating the information, they found that the information they received was the same. Without hesitation, all three of them chose yes. The house is gone, the car is gone, and if we don't replace it, it's really gone. Zhou Bai's attention also shifted to the screen in front of him. She was well aware that the world had changed, and what they could rely on next seemed to be the sudden emergence of the apocalyptic game system in front of them. After she finished making her choice, the screen in front of her changed. In the process of property conversion, detected a large number of fixed properties in the host, triggering hidden rewards. Do you want to exchange all properties for rewards? After successful exchange, the properties will not be converted to game currency. Do you want to exchange? Countdown 5, 4, 3. Yes. Zhou Bai reluctantly chose yes. She had a premonition that this hidden reward would be beneficial to her. Redemption completed, rewards will be issued after the game is officially launched. Please wait. After this sentence, Zhou Bai's screen had no response. At this point, Zhou Jinping and Ding Qiuruo had already exchanged their assets, and both of them felt a bit disappointed. Just because of this sudden accident, the careers they have worked hard to save over the years have turned into some floating game currencies, and they don't know how much use they can have. Then he looked at Zhou Bai and said, "Zhou Bai, have you completed the exchange?" "I've finished it, but not all I've changed to game currency," Zhou Bai said, recounting what he had just encountered. "It's only 5 seconds, and I haven't discussed it with my parents." "It's okay, anyway those houses have already been handed over to you, they belong to you. Even if there's an accident, your parents will still take care of you." Zhou Jinping smiled and comforted, "But I think it should be a good thing. You've had good luck from childhood to adulthood. I just feel that if I miss it, I might regret it," Zhou Bai said subconsciously. Zhou Jinping and Ding Qiuruo looked at Zhou Bai gently without any concern. At this time, a new notification was once again sent on the screens of the three of them. The global property transfer has been completed, and the Doomsday game is officially operational. For everyone to adapt to the gaming environment, the beginner protection period is 1 month. Friendly advice: the world has changed, please work hard to survive. As the words fell, the thick fog around gradually dissipated. And a mechanical voice rang out in Zhou Bai's mind. "Host, are you binding the Lord token?" Upon hearing the sound, Zhou Bai was immediately startled. The reward she exchanged for several buildings has arrived. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Establishing Territory. Hope Village. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Establishing Territory. Hope Village. Zhou Bai's gaze fell on the screen in front of him. After the announcement of the official operation of the Doomsday system, the content on the screen had already changed. The most important section is the personal introduction above. Character. Zhou Bai, race. Human, level. LV0, 0/100, identity. Refugee, health. 86/100, attributes. Physical fitness, 4/10, intelligence, 7/10, agility, May 10, defense, 2/10. On the left side of the personal introduction, the friend function is displayed, which is currently not enabled. Below are columns such as maps, backpacks, and private mailboxes. It is clearly a regular game layout. And above these pages, there is a floating layer of notifications, which is the content of the system audio notification that just popped up. Host, do you want to bind a Lord token? Yes, Zhou Bai replied sharply. After selecting, the notification disappears, and there is a small red dot added to the backpack column. When clicked, a Lord token is located in one of the squares. Zhou Bai directly clicked on the Lord token, and an introduction page unfolded in front of her. Item. Lord token, introduction. After use, a territory can be established, which can provide shelter and protect Warcraft. After reading the introduction, Zhou Bai couldn't help but feel a thump in his heart. Protecting Warcraft. Is this indicating that there will be Warcraft invasion in apocalyptic games? What exactly is Warcraft? All of this is unknown, and the unknown appears terrifying. However, to Zhou Bai's delight, she now has the Lord token, which allows her to establish territories and provide a safe place to live. Exchanging a few buildings for this reward is really worth it. At the next moment, Zhou Bai talked to his parents next to him about the rewards he had received and the situations he had encountered. Upon hearing these words, Zhou Jinping felt slightly relieved. He was worried that the unknown apocalyptic game would bring many unknown dangers, and under these dangers, he could not protect his wife and daughter well. Now that my daughter has this Lord token, as long as she finds a suitable location to establish her territory, her safety will be guaranteed to a certain extent. Let's find a suitable territory, Zhou Jinping said directly. Since it is confirmed that there will be Warcraft appearing in the gamified blue star, it is better to establish the territory as soon as possible, which can also be safer. Zhou Bai nodded as they urgently needed a safe location. Subsequently, the family of three began to take action, preparing to search for a suitable location nearby, and as soon as they walked, they also began to meet other people. Compared to the stability of their family, the people they met were obviously very panicked. There's a monster ahead. Run! Seeing Zhou Jinping's family of three, one of them shouted in fear. What monster? Zhou Jinping asked. The gamification of Blue Star has become a reality, and all they can do is try to understand this gaming world as much as possible. It looks like a dog, and its size has increased several times. When it encounters a person, it attacks and is bitten to death on the spot. Everyone runs away in all directions, not knowing which direction it is heading. Hurry up and run. The man said, accelerating his escape speed. After this person, there were also countless people who fled for their lives. Seeing this situation, Zhou Jinping had no choice but to run with his daughter and wife, but they deviated directly from the direction. After watching this escape, he was well aware of how important his daughter's token was in this apocalypse, and he didn't know if it could be snatched. In such a situation, he naturally had to avoid the crowd. Also, it's better to turn the token into a territory as soon as possible. That mutated dog should be a Warcraft, and I don't know if there are any other Warcraft in the future. What Zhou Jinping can think of, so can Zhou Bai. She used to be too lazy to think because of her parents, but now their situation is also dangerous, and she can't rely solely on them. She had just observed during the operation that although the surrounding buildings had disappeared, the basic environment was very similar to where she was before, which she verified on the map. Since that's the case, it's better to choose the villa area where they were located before. The villa area was specifically chosen by the developer for feng shui masters, with a mountain at the back and a river passing through in front. It can be said that it is surrounded by mountains and water, and after development, it has also become the hottest real estate in the local area. Therefore, as a territory, the development potential here will not be inferior to much. Thinking of this, Zhou Bai stopped his parents and said, "Dad, Mom, I've come up with a suitable place. Let's go take a look." "Where?" Zhou Jingping asked subconsciously. Although he believed in his daughter, the matter of territory was too important, and he still had to be cautious. "The villa area we were in before, didn't you realize, Dad? Although the buildings and everything else have disappeared, the environment is still the same," Zhou Bai reminded. Zhou Jingping and Ding Qiuro listened to Zhou Bai's words and looked around. Upon observation, they suddenly realized that the arrangement of trees around them seemed to be really the same as before. If that's the case, the villa area where they were originally located must also be there. That place is indeed a suitable place to establish territory. "Okay, let's go back." Zhou Jingping quickly agreed. Led by Zhou Jingping, the family of three walked towards the direction of the villa area. Along the way, they also met many people. Faced with the sudden apocalyptic game, many of them had not yet reacted, and there was a sense of confusion on their faces. Faced with a changing world, they didn't know where to go for a moment, and could only drift with the flow. Zhou Bai didn't say a word more about this. The territory has not been established, and with these people going over, no one knows if there will be any accidents. She cannot afford to take this risk. A family of three had a hard heart as if they hadn't seen it, but it was just a friendly reminder that there were already warcraft appearing outside, urging everyone to be more careful. I don't know how long it took, but they finally saw the familiar environment. After seeing the mountains and rivers, their speculation has been confirmed. "Dad, Mom, did I choose this place as my territory?" Zhou Bai asked. The two nodded. Soon, Zhou Bai clicked to retrieve the Lord token from her backpack, and the next moment, the token appeared in her hand. "Do you want to use the Lord token?" "Yes." As the words fell, the token in hand emitted a dazzling light and flew out. When it landed in mid-air, a map appeared in front of Zhou Bai, which also showed a small territorial blueprint. "Please select the territory placement location on the map." Zhou Bai observed and directly selected. After she confirmed, a small territory appeared on the vacant land in front of her, just like the map paper, a small wooden fence surrounding a small house in the center. When the territory was bubbling, the whole family looked somewhat incredulous. "Is this territory? Isn't it too simple? Please name your village and it will appear on the character map, Hope." In layman's terms, at least it's catchy, and I hope it's really Hope. Congratulations to the host for establishing the territory of Hope Village. Reward 2 buildings. There is an additional option for territory on Zhou Bai's screen, and once clicked on, the situation of the territory is clearly visible on the screen. Territory. Hope Village, Level. Level 0 Village, Upgrade, Population. 0/100 Tax Rate. 10%, Adjustable, Wealth. 88 Gold, 34 Silver, 72 Copper, Architecture. Lord's Mansion, Level 1, Fence, Other Unlocking Buildings, Optional *2, Mall. Exclusive to Territory, Only Providing Materials, Current Ranking. Note. Territory can only be occupied by lords. Novice protection period is 1 month. Subsequently, regarding the settings for tourists and residents, as they can be adjusted at any time, Zhou Bai followed the system initialization settings. After confirming, he looked at Zhou Jingping and Ding Qiuro on the side and said, "Dad, Mom, has your map changed?" The scope of the map is limited. In the initial state, they can only see a 10,000 square meter area centered around the landing point. Places that cannot be crossed can be expanded. Previously, the villa area was outside their initial map, but when they arrived, the map included it. "Yes, we have an additional Hope Village on our map. Then go in and take a look," Zhou Bai said. Zhou Bai smoothly stepped into it, while Zhou Jingping and Ding Qiuro were stopped outside, and a notice appeared on the panel. "Dear refugees, welcome to Hope Village. Currently, the available identities are: Tourist, 10 copper coins/day, Resident, 10 silver coins/permanent. Zhou Jinping and Ding Qiuruo exchanged a glance and directly chose Resident. Congratulations on becoming a resident of Hope Village. Please go to the Lord's mansion to collect your identity token at this moment. Lord Zhou Bai received the news. Hope Village has added 2 residents. Within the territory, the Lord can view the personal information of the residents and has the right to expel them. Zhou Bai's eyes lit up when she saw this, which was more conducive to her Lord's management of the territory. In the future, she could easily drive away some unreliable residents. Zhou Bai immediately mentioned to his parents, and they were also very happy that at least their daughter's safety was guaranteed. Subsequently, the family of 3 discussed and headed towards the direction of the Lord's mansion. It seemed that many functions of the territory needed to be explored, so they took advantage of the absence of anyone else and quickly mastered all the rules. At this moment, not far from here, many people scattered and fled after being chased by Warcraft, only to suddenly receive a notice. You have entered the jurisdiction of Hope Village, you can go to Hope Village. Note: villages, towns, cities, and other territories can resist different levels of Warcraft based on their defense capabilities. Looking at the notice, and then at the sudden appearance of Hope Village on the edge of the map, many people were a bit excited. Especially as mentioned above, territories can resist Warcraft. They occasionally encounter monsters outside, which should be Warcraft. They have strengths and weaknesses, and weaker ones are fine. They can all kill and even obtain some supplies, but when they encounter stronger ones, they have no choice, and even their lives are in danger. Moreover, they cannot stay in the wild all the time. I don't know exactly where this territory came from, but they can go there and see. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Unlocking New Buildings. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Unlocking New Buildings. At this point, Zhou Bai and his companions had already entered the Lord's mansion. The Lord's mansion is like an office hall, with a simple 1-story building of about 40 square meters. At the end, there are 2 compartments on the left and right, each with a window. On the left window is the resident registration office, and on the table is an unfolded sheepskin scroll. Next to it are piles of blank tokens. On the right side is the territory task, and on top of it is a bulletin board with empty content. And everything in front of him appeared on the Lord's mansion building on the surface of Zhou Bai's territory. Everything was synchronized, and Zhou Bai looked at this scene with some surprise. When Zhou Jinping and Ding Qiuruo approached, 2 tokens with names engraved on them were handed out at the left window. At the moment they received their identity token, a name added to their head. Hope Village residents. Dad, Mom, have you seen a name on my head? Zhou Bai's heart twitched slightly. Isn't it the Lord of Hope Village? Yes, I hope the village lord. The 2 frowned. Zhou Bai twitched his lips and said, isn't this making people stare at me? This name is too high. Profile. It's really not suitable for her. Immediately, he looked at the sheepskin roll at the counter, thought slightly, and then clicked on the sheepskin roll on the control panel, adding his own name directly to it. When registering, an additional name appeared on the sheepskin roll at the scene, and the identity token also appeared. Upon receiving the token, the label on Zhou Bai's head suddenly changed. Zhou Jinping and Ding Qiuruo smiled and said, I have become a resident. Then I can hide my lord identity. Although I don't know how long I can keep it hidden, there will be much less trouble before that. Can anyone else move this resident registration book? Zhou Jinping said, trying to walk into the counter, but was stopped by an invisible barrier. Only the Lord can do it. Zhou Bai confirmed that everything here is not to be guarded by her Lord. Apart from the system, it is her Lord who personally operates it. There is only such a territory nearby now, and we don't know the specific situation. It can be said that this territory is controlled by the system, and no one will doubt it. Zhou Jinping's last concern disappeared in his heart. Watching my daughter's gaze change again, this luck is amazing. However, Zhou Bai, who unexpectedly resolved his identity issue, continued to operate the panel with ease. Having a complete understanding of the Lord's section really benefits her greatly. Subsequently, the upgrade conditions were directly checked. Population over 100 people, not met, territory building reaches 4, not met, Lord has reached LV5, not met. After taking note of the conditions, Zhou Bai's gaze shifted to the optional *2 carried behind the building to be unlocked. She remembered that this was a reward from the system when the territory was established. As long as it was unlocked, there were 4 buildings, and the building conditions could be achieved. Click on it, and many architectural introductions appear on the screen. Junior Tailor Shop. Can make simple clothing, construction requires 10 coins and several materials, Junior Blacksmith Shop. Can craft simple weapons and tools, requiring 10 gold coins and several materials for construction, Junior Grocery Store. Can provide various commodities, construction requires 10 gold coins and several materials, Restaurant. Can provide various types of food, construction requires 10 gold coins and several materials, first level warehouse. Can store various items, construction requires 10 gold coins and several materials, first level residential building. 30 square meter small house, construction requires 5 gold coins and several materials, can be rebuilt repeatedly, first level farmland. Crops can be planted, Perhaps it is because the current level of the territory is not high, and most of the unlockable buildings are basic and the number is limited, but for Zhou Bai, it was a bit of a gimmick. Dad, Mom, currently 2 buildings can be unlocked. Zhou Bai mentioned several buildings and their features. What do you think is most needed now? Zhou Zhengping looked at Zhou Bai with a smile, without giving an answer, but directly asked in reverse. Zhou Bai understood Zhou Zhengping's intention of exercising himself and said directly, let's have a blacksmith shop and a restaurant. The former can provide weapons, while the latter can provide food. These 2 are what survivors need now. Then do as you say. Zhou Bai nodded and began unlocking the building. Did you spend 10 gold coins, 1,000 units of wood, 1,000 units of stone, and 100 units of iron ore to unlock the blacksmith shop? Yes. Insufficient materials, please purchase or collect. Zhou Bai chose to purchase. Quickly, the system mall popped up, and the page happened to be filled with wood, stone, and iron ore. Item. Wood, Introduction. Building materials, purchase price. 1 copper coin/unit, selling price. 2 copper coins per unit, *, item. Stone, Introduction. Building materials, purchase price. 2 copper coins/unit, selling price. 4 copper coins per unit, *, item. Iron ore, Introduction. Building materials, weapon materials, etc. Purchase price. 100 copper coins/unit, selling price. 200 copper coins/unit. After seeing the difference between the purchase and sale prices, Zhou Bai's expression paused. A unscrupulous businessman. Roast, Zhou Bai still spent 2 gold and 60 silver coins to unlock the blacksmith's shop. After the blacksmith shop, unlocking the 60 silver coins in the cafeteria is nothing. Dear host, your territory has reached 4 buildings and has reached upgrade condition 2. The junior blacksmith shop and cafeteria have been unlocked, please place them. It was notified that there were 2 additional recommended placement points on the territory map, and Zhou Bai directly chose to confirm. But this is far from over. The blacksmith shop has been completed, but there are currently no blacksmiths available. Self-service mode will be activated, and the system will select the product iron axe, bronze level. Do you want to make it? The restaurant has been completed, and there is no chef at present. Open the independent mode, and the system selects commodity mantu. Do you want to make it? Yes. Iron axe production requires 1 drawing, 10 iron ore, and 10 wood. The materials are insufficient, please purchase. Making mantu requires flour, and the materials are insufficient. Please buy. Asterisk, item. Iron axe drawing, introduction. Essential for making an iron axe, purchase price. 50 silver coins, selling price. 1 gold coin, note. Reusable, asterisk item. Flour, introduction. Making food ingredients, purchase price. 1 copper coin, selling price. 2 copper coins. Looking at the prices above, especially the iron axe drawings, Zhou Bai's heart trembled a bit. However, at this stage, he doesn't have any materials on hand and can only buy them. After the purchase, Zhou Bai made and put on the shelf 10 iron axes and 20 mantu. After confirming the operation of the blacksmith shop and restaurant, Zhou Bai took a long breath. It's finally over. She strongly suspects that this is a money game and has been urging the Lord to continuously invest money. If there is not enough funds, it may not be unlocked. It seems that we cannot always rely on purchasing in the system mall, and money is not spent in this way. For every penny she spends, she feels heartbroken. Before the end of the day, her account only had more money, not less. The next moment, Zhou Bai's attention fell on the nearby territory task bulletin board, and she knew what it was used for. Purchase of wood, 1 unit/1.1 copper coins, purchase of stone, 1 unit/2.2 copper coins, purchase of iron ore, 1 unit/101 copper coins, purchase various drawings, 1 gold coin. Tasks were posted one by one, and Zhou Jinping and Ding Qiuro, who were waiting on the side, quickly noticed because besides the notification bar, their panels also had notifications, and the two were synchronized. This is. Just now unlocking the building requires materials, and the selling price is twice the purchase price, which has cost me a lot of money. I think unlocking the building in the future will also require them. Buy and hoard them early, and it won't be a loss anyway, explained Zhou Bai. In this way, the purpose of the system seems to be to encourage you not to rely too much on the mall. You can obtain it yourself or through residents within the territory, which is more cost-effective than purchasing from the mall. Encourage everyone to go out. Zhou Jinping pondered. It seems so. She was trying to save money anyway, but they all went the same way. Then wait for others to come and get more information from them before we go out. We didn't encounter any danger along the way, but instead missed some opportunities to learn more. Pooh, I'd rather you guys know later than in danger, Ding Qiuro hurriedly said, giving Zhou Jinping a sideways glance. She couldn't help but twist her hand on his arm. What are you saying? Just talk, Zhou Jinping quickly begged for mercy. Zhou Bai watched this scene and unconsciously hooked his lips. She was fortunate to have such a territory that could shelter her family. At this time, a reminder popped up on Zhou Bai's control panel. Lord of Hope Village, refugees have entered the territory of Hope Village. Please prepare for shelter as soon as possible. At the same time as the notification, scattered green and red dots began to appear on Zhou Bai's map. Is the green dot a survivor and the red dot a warcraft? Thinking about it, Zhou Bai quickly turned to the two people and said, survivors are coming. Maybe some monsters are following. The two of them instantly withdrew their attention and said, let's go take a look. A family of 3 headed straight towards the village entrance. When passing by the blacksmith's shop on the way, each person bought an iron axe. At the same time, a group of people arrived outside Hope Village one after another, and at the moment they saw the stone tablet, their eyes burst with a ray of hope. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Survivors Come. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Survivors Come. Dear refugees, welcome to Hope Village. Currently, the available identities are Tourist, 10 copper coins/day, Resident, 10 silver coins/permanent, residence. This scene happened to many people, who had no time to think and chose to join the territory. After entering the territory, he immediately turned his head to look at the situation behind him. Not far from the end of the team, followed by a group of half-human tall rabbits. The rabbits had red eyes, two pointed front teeth, and stood with legs bouncing and jumping. The nails of their claws extended one by one, shining brightly. Who would have thought that before the end of the day, the soft and cute rabbit had become so terrifying? One is enough for a group of people, let alone a group. Just now, many of them died under their sharp claws and teeth, then turned into white light and disappeared. Upon reflection, one by one, their faces turned pale. Finally, the last person stepped into the territory. But the group of rabbits behind them did not give up, their eyes greedily fixed on them. They kicked their feet and flew into the air, rushing towards them. Everyone's heart couldn't help but skip a beat. Can the tattered wooden fence of this territory block it? Quickly, the sound of bang 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 echoed on the scene, and a group of rabbits hit an invisible shield directly in front of it, then bounced back and flew out. Watching this scene, many people breathed a deep sigh of relief. And Zhou Bai, who arrived, has also received notification that the fence is being damaged. The fence is being destroyed, with 60% remaining defense. Please repair 400 units of wood. The fence is being destroyed, with 52% remaining defense. Please repair 480 units of wood. Looking at the notice, Zhou Bai felt his heart dripping with blood. While repairing the fence, he took out his iron axe and swung it at the attacking rabbit, hitting it twice. Congratulations to the host. Kill LV.2 magic rabbit and obtain 2 carrots, 2 rabbit meat, 2 rabbit skin, 20 experience points, and 20 copper coins. When Zhou Bai heard the news, his eyes lit up slightly. Dad, killing Warcraft will drop supplies, come on, Zhou Bai quickly shouted. Zhou Jinping watched as Zhou Bai suddenly rushed out, feeling a bit confused. After hearing Zhou Bai's next sentence, he quickly took out his iron axe and rushed forward. As for Ding Qiuruo, she is also a follower of the master. A family needs to be neat and tidy. The brave action of a family of 3 was noticed by the survivors of the disaster, and they immediately realized it. With a fence around, the monsters outside are no longer a problem. Many people's eyes flickered as they looked at the iron axe in the hands of Zhou Bai and the others. Zhou Bai, who was killing the demon rabbit, seemed to be aware and turned to look at the new group of survivors. There are iron axes for sale in this territory, and now there are 7 left. You can go and take a look. Upon hearing these words, many people turned their heads and ran inside. After a moment, someone came back with an iron axe and together they killed the magic rabbit. I don't know how long it took, but the magic rabbit was finally killed. Everyone on site cheered in an instant. At this moment, Zhou Bai realized that he had upgraded. Character: Zhou Bai, race: human, level LV1, 100/200, identity: Lord of Hope Village, residents of Hope Village, health 179/200, attributes: physical fitness, 4 out of 10, intelligence, 7/10, agility, 5 out of 10, defense, 2/10. Looking at the panel, Zhou Bai thought that the lord required by the territory must reach level 5, and his heart was instantly at ease. Upgrading or killing Warcraft would come faster. The important thing is that after upgrading, the health will also become thicker, which is the benefit of invisibility. Thank you for telling us there are weapons inside. At this moment, a person approached Zhou Bai and warmly thanked them. By the way, my name is Li Xingteng. It's okay, one more person, one more strength. We might not be able to solve these monsters so quickly on our own. Zhou Jinping also smiled. Zhou Jinping, my wife Ding Qiuruo and daughter Zhou Bai. The 2 of them are not indifferent to Li Xingteng. Are there only 3 of you in this territory? Li Xingteng continued, with a hint of scrutiny in his eyes. According to his experience of reading novels, there should be a lord in the territory. Could it be one of them? Yes, just the 3 of us. We were the first batch to come here. Our home was originally near here, and we were lucky enough to enter the territory without much hardship. Zhou Jinping said, his face full of joy. Oh, by the way, you haven't received your identity token yet. After receiving your identity token, you will have the title of a Hope Village resident on your head, and you can also see the types and levels of Warcraft. Upon hearing Zhou Jinping's words, the eavesdroppers around began walking towards the Lord's mansion. After a moment, everyone in the territory had a 5-word hope for the village residents on their heads. Li Xingtong, who was the first to inquire about Zhou Jinping, specifically came back to see them. After confirming that they were all residents, he no longer focused his attention on them, but began to search around the territory. After confirming that there is no suspicion, the family smiled lightly and then became an ordinary survivor. With the arrival of this group of people, the population of the village has reached 21, which has also made the village more lively. 10 more iron axes have been put on the shelves, and the number of mantu has also increased by 180. Although buying materials through the system mall was a bit more expensive, doubling the sales also allowed Zhou Bai to earn a lot back, and finally realized the benefits of having more people. After eating mantu, many people began to take a rest in the territory. After half a day of rushing, no one will be picky about the environment. They just want to take a good rest, organize their thoughts, and determine their next path. And Zhou Jinping also took this opportunity to inquire about external information with them. There are Warcraft, but the current number seems to be small. This group of magic rabbits is an exception as we accidentally bumped into their lair. In addition to shedding animal skins, meat, and copper coins, it is said that someone has found some items that can improve defense or strength. In addition, there are many fruit trees in the wild that can be collected. Food has a shelf life, but excess food and supplies can be sold to the system. I've heard people mention that cutting trees and stones is enough. Thank you, our family is hiding here and has been afraid to go out. We really don't know much about the information outside, Zhou Jinping sincerely thanked. It's okay, it's the end of the world. Let's help each other. And you will eventually know this information. Speaking of which, will someone gather outside to collect wood and stone later? As a resident, I don't have much money left on me after buying an iron axe. It's too insecure. Me too, Moonlight Clan. I don't have much savings. I used to be carefree, but after entering the game. Hey, I have to endure hardship. I really envy those wealthy people. After entering the game, I'm afraid they won't have to worry about food and drink. As they spoke, everyone's mood began to decline. The most important thing is to be able to survive. If we survive, there is hope. We are all still alive, that's enough, Zhou Jinping comforted as he looked at the emotions in their eyes. This sentence indeed comforts most of the soul. Yeah. They're still alive. Our family also plans to collect wood and stone materials, Zhou Jinping said immediately. Your family. Are your wife and daughter going? Well, I'm afraid I'll protect them too much. If I have any problems in the future, their lives will become difficult. It's better to adapt early, Zhou Jinping said with a bitter smile. Everyone listened, both envious and sympathetic, envious of his family being by his side, sympathetic to his 2 burdens. Oh no, one is not. Don't worry, your daughter was the first to rush up just now, this is really brave. Speaking, he also gave a thumbs up. Zhou Jinping listened and his mouth twitched without a trace. Afterwards, he asked her, and she was the first to rush up because the fence after being hit by the magic rabbit needed to be repaired with wood. Wood equals money. The end of the day is approaching, it is impossible for her to live aimlessly and wait for death. She can only strive for more money while establishing her territory. Well, this is still the daughter he remembers. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Upgrading Territory. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Upgrading Territory. After obtaining the desired information from others, Zhou Jinping quickly turned to look for Zhou Bai and briefly described the situation outside to them. Perhaps the so-called novice protection period has played a role. The number of warcraft is relatively small and the level is not high, but I think there may be more and more powerful warcraft as time goes by and our level improves. Zhou Bai analyzed that she had played enough games before the end of the day and still had some understanding of the routines. In the early stages of the game, it is definitely a time for them to accumulate primitive capital, especially materials. They have a lot of gold coins on their body, but they are very short of materials. Well, I think so too, so our family must work hard to improve our level within this month, Zhou Jinping agreed. And you, Xiao Bai, try to improve to level 5 first, and also try to improve your territory level as much as possible, so that we can be safer. Let's go take a stroll nearby and get used to it later, Zhou Bai suggested, while looking at his lord's panel, which displayed various small red and green dots nearby. With such map indications, they themselves have a slight advantage over others. Okay. Zhou Jinping agreed with Ding Qiuruo, and they had already been mentally prepared. Just say and do, and the family of three quickly left the territory together. Watching the three of them holding iron axes in a fierce manner, some people who were resting looked at each other and quickly got up to take action. There are two weak women in their family who are so brave, how can they fall behind? Some hands were tight and quickly followed suit. Wood and stone could at least exchange for a lot of copper coins. The acquisition price of the territory is higher, and they can accumulate it to sell to the territory. From the price of the iron axe, it can be seen that weapons in the future will not be too cheap. They still need to save more money, which can be their capital for survival in the future. And Zhou Bai and the others had already arrived at the small forest by this time. Dad, Mom, I've seen it here and there aren't many warcraft beasts at the moment. Let's try collecting wood first, and if there are any warcraft beasts that are left alone later, we'll solve them. This will make sense, Zhou Bai said cautiously. Zhou Jinping nodded to Ding Qiuruo, and then looked at Zhou Bai with a hint of satisfaction in his eyes. After the end of the day, our daughter will change her previous laziness and become smart and courageous. If they really accidentally have an accident in the future, they will also be much more at ease with her. Then the family of three started chopping trees with iron axes. Zhou Bai lowered his axe and left only a cut on the tree. He blinked his eyes and continued to chop, quickly making more than 10 cuts. The tree in front of him suddenly turned into wood with a white light. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained 5 pieces of wood and 1 experience point. After collecting it, she looked at her parents and found that her father was already chopping down the 3rd tree, while her mother had not finished chopping down the first one yet. Obviously, the speed of collecting wood is related to an individual's physical fitness, so as the character's level increases, their physical fitness should be enhanced. Thinking about it, Zhou Bai continued to bury his head in chopping trees, and chopping trees can also increase experience points. Although it's less, a little is better than nothing. After trying to gain experience points by chopping trees, Zhou Jinping roughly figured out how many knives could collect wood, so he directly gave the last knife to Zhou Bai. Zhou Bai did not refuse either. So, the family diligently collected and shifted their positions along the way with the distribution of trees. After a moment, a family of 3 collected hundreds of units of wood, and Zhou Bai's level was also raised to level 3. Gradually, Zhou Bai also received news of other refugees entering Hope Village one after another. With the guidance of a map and other people in her territory, she didn't worry anymore. She just artificially blocked those notifications. Until different news came. Dear host, your population has reached 100 and you have reached upgrade condition 1. Listen, the corner of Zhou Bai's mouth involuntarily rises. Now that 1 and 2 have been reached, there are only 3 left. After looking around and seeing that there were not many people around, Zhou Bai looked at the small red dots on the map not far from them and whispered, Dad, Mom, can we go kill Warcraft now? If I reach level 5, I can advance to the territory tonight. Let's go. Zhou Jinping's eyes lit up slightly. Quickly, under the guidance of Zhou Bai, they collided head-on with small monsters such as the magic rabbit and magic mouse wandering nearby. They discovered that Warcraft with lower levels can see their level, but those with higher levels cannot. However, even so, they only dealt with Warcraft a few more attacks, which can be seen. Even if it is higher, it is not much higher than them. Similarly, the final blow to kill the Warcraft was handed over to Zhou Bai, who not only gained a lot of experience points but also a lot of supplies. Congratulations to the host. Kill LV.3 magic mouse and obtain 3 rice, 3 mouse meat, 3 mouse skin, 30 experience points, and 30 copper coins. Congratulations to the host. Kill LV.3 magic chicken and obtain 3 rice, 3 chicken, 3 chicken feathers, 30 experience points, and 30 copper coins. Dropped home shoes. Dropped off the top. Gradually, other special items began to fall, and each appearance made the family of 3 extremely excited. At least with a shirt and shoes, they can also change to wear them. When supplies are scarce, everything is precious. And with this one monster swipe, time flew by quickly, and Zhou Bai's level also reached level 5. Dear host, your level has reached LV5 and you have reached upgrade condition 3. Upgrade conditions 1, 2, and 3 have all been met. Please return to your territory as soon as possible to advance. Upon receiving the news that they could advance and noticing that the sky was starting to darken and the number of Warcraft was increasing and becoming more and more dense, Zhou Bai quickly reminded his parents and the family of 3 quickly returned to their territory. A huge fire has already been lit on the vacant land of the territory, with most people gathered around it. Some are trading supplies, some have set up a small fire to roast meat, and some have set up a small stone stove to simmer soup. The fragrance spreads and outlines a little warmth. Watching this scene, Zhou Bai couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Human adaptability is indeed the strongest. Subsequently, the 3 of them also approached the fire. As soon as it got dark, the temperature seemed to have dropped significantly. By the fire, Li Xingtong looked at the family of 3 who had returned so late with an unexpected look in their eyes and said directly, "You can stay by the fire, but you need to help provide some wood." "No problem," Zhou Jinping stepped forward and said, "How much do you need to pay?" "Just 10 units per person is enough, we'll make up for it later if it's not enough." Zhou Jinping didn't say much, he just gave it and then looked at the stone stove and pot that others had made, and approached to inquire about the transaction. After he returned, he also set up a small stove on the scene and said, "Someone poured out some stones, so we can also get some food." "I'll do it," Ding Churo hurriedly said. Her biggest hobby is tinkering with food, so even if she has money at home before the end of the day, she will cook for herself. "You just rest well," Zhou Jinping stepped forward to help and said to Zhou Bai. Zhou Bai was aware that he deliberately left her with a free time to handle territorial affairs. Zhou Bai didn't hesitate and sat down next to the fire. Feeling the warmth emanating from the fire, she relaxed a bit. Just outside, she kept an eye on the nearby dynamics from time to time, her spirit and willpower tense. When she returned to her territory, she naturally felt at ease. After sitting down, she eagerly opened the control panel of the territory. Territory. Hope Village, Level 0 Village, Upgrade, Population 102/100 Tax Rate 10%, Adjustable, Wealth 80 Gold, 12 Silver, and 33 Copper, Architecture Lord's Mansion, Level 1, Fence, Junior Blacksmith Shop, Restaurant, Mall. Exclusive to territory, only providing materials, current ranking. *****, note. Territory can only be occupied by lords, novice protection period is 1 month, as soon as the panel came out, there was a particularly prominent notification on the system. The territory has met the promotion criteria. Would you like to upgrade a level 0 village to a level 1 village? No. Although she really wanted to upgrade, Zhou Bai still held back. As soon as they returned, the territory advanced. Those who were suspicious were afraid, so she wanted to speak slowly. After calming down, Zhou Bai's attention shifted to the building above. Clicking on the Lord's mansion, one can see at a glance that there are many more supplies in the Lord's mansion, all exchanged by the residents of the territory. There are also hundreds of units of wood and stone, as well as various types of fur, linen, etc. There is very little food available. Obviously, everyone knows the importance of filling their stomachs. For materials, Zhou Bai is not afraid of too much and will continue to purchase without any upper limit. Anyway, she thinks these things will come in handy sooner or later. Then there are junior blacksmiths and restaurants. The iron axes in the blacksmith's shop have long been sold out. The first batch of 10 were sold out, and Zhou Bai put on another 10, all of which have been sold short. Based on the estimated number, Zhou Bai directly put on the shelves 30. As for Mantu, Zhou Bai directly added 200 more. After finishing, Zhou Jingping and Ding Qiurou also made delicious food here. A bowl of barbecue, a bowl of broth, and a few hot mantu, the three members of the family enjoyed their dinner. After eating and drinking enough, the sky had completely darkened, and the blacksmith's shop and restaurant had already closed, leaving behind the ideas of those who had previously thought of staying overnight inside. More and more people crowded towards the fire. After calming down, many people were staring at the fire in silence, their faces devoid of sleep. Who can sleep in this situation now? I don't know what's going on outside after dark, someone suddenly asked, his voice particularly prominent in this quiet night. Many people listened and looked out, the darkness engulfing the light. At first glance, they couldn't see anything clearly, which made them feel a bit scared for no reason. They are also thinking about this matter. The emergence of apocalyptic games was too sudden, and all they were thinking about this day was how to find a safe place. The place was found, but other issues also arose. Is this territory safe? How long can we shelter them? Are there any other territories? How are their relatives and friends doing? Are you still alive? Have they also found their territory? Will the external environment become even worse? Do they have to fight Warcraft if they want to live? There are too many things to consider. Everyone's thoughts are chaotic and silent in their own world. And with the two most important family members by his side, Zhou Bai, who was carefree, felt that time was almost up, clicked on the Lord panel, and was ready to upgrade his territory. This time, facing the notification from the system, Zhou Bai did not hesitate to choose yes. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Gradually entering a better era. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Gradually entering a better era. Congratulations to the host, your territory has advanced and you can unlock 2 buildings with a reward of 10,000 copper coins. With the system notification, Zhou Bai's Lord panel refreshed accordingly. The first thing I see is the conditions for the next upgrade. Condition 1. Population of 1,000 or more, not met. Condition 2. Territory buildings reach 8, not met. Condition 3. Lord reaches LV10, not met. The first and third were easy to say, while the second made Zhou Bai frown uncontrollably. There need to be 8 types of buildings in the territory, and the original ones unlocked with this reward are only 6 types. So she needs to find 2 more types, such as wood and stones. It's okay to say that the building drawings are currently not available. I don't know how to get it either. But since there are requirements, there must be a way. Temporarily put it down, Zhou Bai continues to unlock the building first. After reviewing the newly added buildings in the architectural introduction, Zhou Bai found that there were conflicts with the previous ones in terms of types. Therefore, he chose the building he had originally planned to unlock in the next step. Junior Tailor Shop, first-class residential buildings. After confirming these two, experienced Zhou Bai first bought the missing materials in the system mall and started unlocking them only after they were fully prepared. Did you spend 10 gold coins, 1,000 units of material, 1,000 units of stone, and 100 units of linen to unlock the junior tailor shop? Did you spend 5 gold coins and 1,000 units of wood to unlock a first-level residential building? Yes. The junior tailor shop has been completed, but there are currently no tailors available. Self-service mode is activated, and the system selects products such as tops, white, and shorts, white. Do you want to make them? The first-level residential buildings have been completed and can be rebuilt again. Please confirm the quantity. The top and shorts were urgently needed, so Zhou Bai naturally chose to make them, and the required material was still linen. Top. Linen *4, shorts. Linen *6, the price of linen sold in the system mall is 4 copper coins, which means the cost of the two is 16 copper coins and 36 copper coins respectively. Zhou Bai directly priced 40 copper coins and 60 copper coins before listing them. As for the residential buildings, Zhou Bai priced them at 6 gold coins, which she had already made some profit from. She didn't dare to pull up the wooden houses made of wood too much. In addition to purchasing them, Zhou Bai also added an additional option to rent them, which is 100 copper coins per day. Renting them out is more cost-effective than selling them in the long run, and this point should be retained. In addition, it can also be considered as a way out for some people with limited funds. Due to limited funds, Zhou Bai temporarily built 10 buildings. At the moment of confirmation, the gold coins on Zhou Bai's account flowed away with a crash. Within the territory, 12 buildings have risen from the ground. Someone noticed and immediately shouted, "Look, there are many more buildings over there." Everyone looked at it with a hint of surprise in their eyes, and some even rubbed their own eyes. The upgrade of the territory to a level 1 village is definitely due to the upgrade of the territory, Li Xingting said excitedly. It's similar to the game we played before. When certain conditions are met, the territory will be upgraded. Let's go and take a look. Led by Li Xingting, a group of people quickly headed towards the newly emerged building. Zhou Jingping and Ding Qiuro knew it was Zhou Bai who did it. They glanced at her and followed behind the team, only slowing down a short distance from them. Zhou Bai lowered his voice slightly and said, "I have unlocked the tailor shop and the first-level residential building. There are 10 sets of first-level residential buildings. Let's go buy one and there will be a place to stay overnight." After thinking for a moment, I added, "The cost of a first-level residential building is about 5 gold coins or more. I priced it at 6 gold coins and rented it out at 100 copper coins per day. The price is quite reasonable, but if you rent it out, how much residential space can you build with the money on hand?" Zhou Jingping glanced sideways at Zhou Bai. "So I want to ask my parents, are you interested in investing in the real estate industry in this territory?" Zhou Bai's eyes flashed with a glimmer of hope. She had not started her career as a landlady before the end of the day, so she could continue in this territory. Even more advantageous than the apocalypse, a win-win situation. Ding Qiuro looked at her daughter's little abacus and smiled gently. With a wave of her hand, she directly handed Zhou Bai a sum of money and said, "I'll give you 300 gold coins first. You can use it as you please. If it's not enough, come to me again." The financial power of the family is in the hands of Ding Qiuro. After exchanging the property, it is also a huge wealth in Ding Qiuro's hands. Now that her daughter clearly wants to pursue a career, as parents, please support her. I hope the village resident Ding Qiuro can give you 300 gold coins as a gift. Do you accept it? Zhou Bai looked at the notice in front of him and raised his lips slightly. Then I'll accept it for now and calculate the interest for you in the future. With gold coins, her career as a renter will indeed develop more smoothly. What's inside the house? Ding Qiuro continued to ask, not caring about whether or not to return it. Zhou Bai listened and coughed lightly. It's just a wooden house, about 30 square meters. There's nothing inside, you need to buy it yourself. It's not her, it's the system. Anyway, it's impossible for her to pay for the renovation. It's okay, we just need to buy it ourselves. We have our own space, and it's more convenient for us to eat or sleep. Ding Qiulua hurriedly said. As a wealthy woman who doesn't have to worry about food and drink before the end of the day, she had high expectations for the quality of life. However, after experiencing almost overnight outdoor living, she was actually satisfied with such a wooden house. Knowing his wife's temperament, Zhou Jinping hurriedly said on the side, I'll tidy up a bit later. You can overcome it now. In the future, when there is a good house in the territory, we can switch. Feeling her husband's thoughtfulness towards her, Ding Qiuruo smiled and said, okay. Not far away, the person who took the first step clearly understood the situation where the building had emerged and began to discuss it one by one. The additional buildings are tailor shops and residential buildings. Great. I feel like my clothes are a bit smelly. Do you have any clothes to buy? Yes, there are tops and shorts, and the price is not expensive. A set of 100 copper coins. Sure, I can go buy a set. But do you need to take a shower when wearing new clothes? Who wants to take a shower? I have water here, it's brought back from the river. A bucket of 10 copper coins, first come, first served. There are only 10 residential buildings, so hurry up and stay. Each building costs 6 gold coins, and if you rent it, it costs 100 copper coins a day. 6 gold coins are not considered expensive. Who says it's not expensive? I only have 10 gold coins all over my body, and I can't bear to part with it. If you're not willing to buy, let's rent. Rent is really not expensive, although it's still cost-effective to buy in the long run, it's convenient to rent in the short term. If you don't mind, renting together with 2 big men would be more cost-effective. While everyone was discussing, Zhou Bai's family had already quickly bought a wooden house. At this time, the 10 houses released by Zhou Bai were also quickly swept away, and Zhou Bai built another 20 in one go. A house is always a necessity for people, and whether they buy or rent it, they are not at a loss. A family of 3 quickly entered the house, and after being purchased, access personnel could be set up. Except for the access personnel, no one else could enter, and in addition, they could also isolate external voices. A family of 3 are very satisfied with this. After taking a look at the general layout of the house, Zhou Jinping took out wood, stone, and iron axe and began to stir things up. As for Zhou Bai, he went directly to the water cellar outside to buy a few buckets of water back. After a while, a small 2-bedroom apartment was created by Zhou Jinping, with 2 rooms, a kitchen, a small living room, a shower, and a small toilet, taking the 30 square meter space to the extreme. Husband, you're great. Ding Qiuruo looked at the freshly baked house with a look of surprise in her eyes. After so many years of being a wealthy and idle person, my skills still haven't declined, Zhou Jinping said proudly. But I can feel that my body and hands-on ability seem to have improved a lot. It should be because of the game, otherwise I wouldn't be able to complete so much work in a short time. Listening to Zhou Jinping's words, Zhou Bai instinctively glanced at the personal control panel, and her feeling was actually very obvious, especially after her level rose. Based on game experience, after reaching a certain level, a profession will develop. There are Warcraft in this world, will we gain magic in the future? Zhou Bai speculated. Only in this way can it be considered in line with the logic of future development. How many levels do you need to advance to in the next upgrade of the territory? Zhou Jinping listened and his eyes moved slightly, continuing to ask. Level 10. When you reach level 10, pay more attention to the changes. I think level 10 is very likely to be the dividing point of your profession. Zhou Jinping analyzed, originally thinking that you were only 1 or 2 levels behind and could still try to level up, but if you were 5 levels behind, it's better to slow down. His daughter has already done well enough, and he doesn't want to push her too hard. If possible, he hopes to be the one who can protect their mother and daughter. Zhou Bai nodded, not thinking too much. After discussing this matter, the family of 3 started boiling water to wash up. Although it was just a simple wash, after changing into new clothes, lying on the wooden bed, I really felt a bit comfortable. Zhou Bai was in his small room and soon fell into a deep sleep. In her dream, gold coins kept falling from the sky, and she happily picked them up from below. On the second day, the aftermath brought by the new building did not disappear. As many people have suggested before, many people are reluctant to spend so much gold coins in one breath. A small portion choose to buy, the majority choose to rent, and even have shared rooms. After all, there is enough space. As a result, everyone moved into the wooden house last night. After all, with private space, no one would think of living in an empty space again. And after this night, everyone's spirit also became different. Obviously, yesterday's territorial upgrade and the emergence of new buildings gave them hope. The territory can be upgraded, and more buildings will appear in the future, and life will also become better and better. I don't want any apocalyptic games anymore. Since everything has already happened, it's important to work hard to make money. Yeah. Work harder, and then buy your own house. When it comes to the end of the day, this house will be much cheaper than before. Also, we experienced it when we went out yesterday. As long as we don't encounter groups of Warcraft, with the Iron Axe, we can earn a lot of money in a day, whether it's collecting or killing Warcraft. When we return to our territory, we have food, drink, and a place to sleep, which is much better than being in constant danger. Yes, we were lucky enough to meet a territory. It's already very happy to have a good night's rest. So later, I'm planning to go out and collect while killing Warcraft. Are you interested in joining me? Yes, I have registered. I am now at level 2. I'm still at level 3. I was lucky yesterday and missed a level 3 monster. Since characters can be upgraded, the higher they are, the better. Everyone was discussing and then began to form one small team after another. The emergence of apocalyptic games cannot be changed, so they are learning to adapt. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Recruitment of Guard Teams. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Recruitment of Guard Teams. What Zhou Bai and his family saw early in the morning was this scene. Watching everyone's high morale, my mood was also unconsciously affected. At this moment, Zhou Bai also understood the significance of the existence of territory. If there were no territory, would these people adapt to the environment so quickly? No way. She, who has always been lazy, silently added a sense of responsibility to herself. Subsequently, Zhou Bai looked directly at the master module of the control panel. At first glance, Zhou Bai noticed the territory map. Because the number of small red dots above has significantly increased compared to yesterday, and even small groups of Warcraft have appeared. Zhou Bai quickly said to his parents beside him, "We got it right. The number of Warcraft has increased, and they seem to be approaching our territory with a goal." Zhou Zhengping and Ding Qiuro listened with a slightly serious expression. Although I had anticipated it before, it was not good news for them. This apocalyptic game has really been pushing them to fight and make them strive to become stronger. The more so, the more it means that the future environment may become more dangerous. Do you need to remind anyone else? Ding Qiuro whispered, looking at the situation in her territory. She knew that there were quite a few teams going out. It might not be good to encounter a large number of Warcraft. Not suitable. Zhou Zhengping directly vetoed and reminded, "What if someone asks them where the news came from?" Ding Qiuro instantly realized and quickly closed her mouth. Compared to others, her daughter is more important. Zhou Bai's eyes twitched slightly and he said directly, I have a way to remind others without exposing myself. Their gaze brushed towards her. You probably forgot that I am a lord who can issue tasks and notifications, and all residents within the territory can receive them. Zhou Bai replied, I just need to recruit some escort teams to protect the territory. Those who have some brains can think of the reason. Moreover, the territory also needs to establish escort forces, killing two birds with one stone. She had just seen an increase in Warcraft and thought of it. Everyone was thinking of going out to collect and hunt, and her territory became an empty shell. If there were Warcraft attacking, her losses would be huge. More importantly, she never forgot the note on the Lord's panel. Territory can only be occupied by lords. In her opinion, this sentence may imply that there will be battles between territories in the future. Therefore, the strength of the territory becomes very important. Even if she thinks wrong, having a stronger territory won't cause much loss. Zhou Jinping listened, nodded in agreement, and couldn't help but reach out to touch her head. Let's do it according to your ideas. I really grew up. Or, to put it another way, it's only after encountering difficulties that I realize how capable my daughter is of carrying the burden. Subsequently, Zhou Bai opened the building of the Lord's mansion and began issuing notices directly on the bulletin board above. Recruiting 20 guards, 100 copper coins per day, personal income from dropped supplies. Survivor rescue mission, rescue one person, reward 1 copper coin. Purchase linen fabric, 2.2 copper coins per unit. Acquisition. As soon as the notice was released, the residents all received it, and when they saw it, they were all stunned. They had only received the acquisition task before, but they didn't expect to have an additional recruitment task today. The escort team should be guarding the territory. Is there any danger in the territory? Personal gains from dropped items may be attacked by Warcraft like yesterday. The task of the escort team is to deal with Warcraft. Isn't there a protective cover on the territory? But it's possible that the protective cover is conditional. After reaching a certain level, it can't be used anymore. In that case, isn't it impossible for the territory to be absolutely safe? Where is absolute safety? It's already quite good now. Do you want to register? Of course, I need to register. This condition is already very good, and I work for the territory. By the way, is this recruitment task automatically published by the territory, or is it controlled by someone? I'm not sure about this. Anyway, no one has jumped out to admit their lord's identity at the moment. Let's just treat it as if it has no owner. If there is, it's good to hide it. I don't want my territory to be chaotic due to power struggles. For a moment, the entire territory became lively, and many people chose to sign up. After registering, some timid people put aside their original plans to go out. Before them, there were also many teams going out. When they came back to investigate the situation outside, they decided whether to go out. Anyway, it was not short of this time and a half. As for what I thought I should be able to handle, I still led the team out. Outside, the team that had been gathering and hunting around the territory earlier also received notification. Li Xingting led a team, and when he saw the notice, his eyes involuntarily flickered. After leaving today, they clearly felt that there were many more Warcraft around them. However, because his team had 8 or 9 people, they all rushed forward when encountering Warcraft. Coupled with iron axes, they could basically handle Warcraft with just a few steps. Today they can be said to have gained a lot. But correspondingly, as more Warcraft are killed, their stamina is depleted faster, and they are now resting in a cleared open space. Li Gu, there are indeed many Warcraft today, and even higher level ones have appeared. It seems that the territory has also been discovered, so that's why this recruitment was sent. One person approached Li Xingting and said. He opened his mouth, and the others couldn't help but speak up. But this guard's daily income is a bit low. Li Gu, are you going to be a guard? Everyone else also gathered around Li Xingteng, saying one sentence at a time. They originally followed Li Xingteng into the territory, and thanks to his guidance along the way, they were able to smoothly enter Hope Village. Later, they naturally formed a team with him as the leader. After working hard these past 2 days, at least everyone has been promoted to level 2, and as for the rewards, it's worth the effort. Therefore, for this boss, they are truly convinced. That's why they want to see Li Xingteng's next plans. Li Xingteng looked at the anxious eyes of the crowd and said directly, I plan to join the Escort team. What about our team? If you are interested, you can sign up with me. Whoever says the Escort team can only stay within the territory. Based on the current size of the territory, 10 people are enough. It chooses 20 people, perhaps because it wants to divide into 2 teams, one team to stay and the other team to go out. After all, the territory will definitely want to raise the level of the Escort. Li Xingteng analyzed, if you are not selected, you can also form your own team to continue hunting, and wait for the next opportunity. Now the Escort team has 20 people, but as the territory upgrades, more will definitely be needed. The first group of people to enter will be able to lead the team if they have the ability. Moreover, based on the current development of the territory, everything is moving in a positive direction. So as long as this territory has potential, he will steadfastly follow suit. Backing against territory is no better than fighting alone. Others listened, their eyes shining brightly. With Li Xingteng's analysis, they also felt the benefits of the Escort team, and the next moment, they all signed up. Later, after everyone rested, they began to search for the surrounding monsters. No matter what standards the Escort team uses, their higher levels will always have more possibilities. And there were also many teams like Li Xingteng and others who thought about it, so Zhou Bai was very conspicuous to see that after the news of recruiting a guard team spread, the number of warcraft around the territory was constantly decreasing. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Escort Team Gift Pack. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Escort Team Gift Pack. At this moment, Zhou Bai looked at the decreasing small red dots and looked at the more than 80 list of applicants. She couldn't help but raise her eyebrows. She thought that the Escort team working for the territory would be attractive, but she didn't expect it to be so attractive. At this moment, she became even more grateful that she had hidden her identity and decided to continue hiding it. If the Lord were her and she wanted to recruit guards, everyone would probably be too worried, but with the name of the territory, everyone would only go one after another. Thinking about it, Zhou Bai looked at the information of these applicants. In fact, after becoming a resident of Hope Village, Zhou Bai, as the Lord, could see their personal attributes. Previously, Zhou Bai did not pay attention. This time, she was selecting guards to carefully investigate. However, she did not expect that after she posted the recruitment task, the Lord's panel would arrange the information of these people, so that everyone's information could be clearly displayed in front of her. And she saw the 2 people in the front row at first glance. Name: Zhou Jingping, race. Human race, level. LV2, identity. Resident of Hope Village, health. 90/100, attributes. Physical fitness, 9/10, intelligence, 7/10, agility, 8/10, defense, 8/10, talent. Combat, asterisk, name. Li Xingteng, race. Human race, level. LV3, identity. Resident of Hope Village, health. 90/100, attributes. Physical fitness, 7/10, intelligence, 7/10, agility, 7/10, defense, 7/10, talent. Leadership. Further scanning and comparing, Zhou Bai knew that her father and Li Xingteng were far ahead of the existing residents in terms of data, which was simply dazzling. However, although other people's physical data is not as good as theirs, they show different talents, some of which are also very special. For example, her mother's talent is actually management, no wonder she was able to grasp both inside and outside before. Immediately, Zhou Bai couldn't help but speak to Zhou Jingping. Dad, establish this escort team. You can also go. I will directly appoint you as the captain of the escort team. Not through the back door, her father also has this qualification. Moreover, the armed forces of a territory still need to have their own people. If nothing unexpected happens, she will officially establish a military camp in the future. With her father leading the way, their lives in the territory will be better, and her mother can also enjoy life openly. In order to conceal their lord identity, they need to be low-key and decent, but they cannot let their parents sacrifice for her all the time. She still hopes that their parents can have a better life in the territory. Zhou Jingping looked at Zhou Bai's excited expression and unexpectedly said, "What's wrong?" Zhou Bai briefly explained the matter of data. At first glance, Zhou Jingping noticed Li Xingting's data, and then thought about his probing last night. After a moment of contemplation, he agreed and glanced at Ding Qiuruo beside him. He frowned and said, "What about you and your mother? If he joins the escort team, he will have less free time to move around in the future, and he can't trust them to run alone outside." "I just need to follow Zhou Bai to upgrade, I can do it," Ding Qiuruo hurriedly said. Zhou Bai glanced at Ding Qiuruo and said directly, "Mom is in the territory. I have a map of the Lord, and with my high level and thick health, I can act alone." Ding Qiuruo frowned and instinctively wanted to refuse. "But I was stopped by Zhou Bai in advance. Mom, your physical attributes are relatively low. Yesterday, whether it was collecting or killing Warcraft, it was quite difficult. If it weren't for the purpose of improving your level, neither my dad nor I would have wanted you to endure this hardship. Now that we have a new direction of development, you are also doing well in the territory. You can also help me pay attention to the situation in the territory, manage our rear area, and when Dad is resting, we will take you out to level up with Mom." When she first read the information, she understood that territory does not require everyone to be warriors. People with different physical qualities can take different paths. Zhou Jingping felt that what Zhou Bai said made a lot of sense. Yesterday, his wife's palms were blistered several times, and when he helped to pick them, he felt heartbroken. Where did his wife suffer from all these hardships? Quickly agreeing, "Just listen to the novice. The arrangement is quite reasonable and won't delay our upgrade too much." Watching the two of them persist, Ding Qiuruo no longer refused. "Okay, I will guard the rear of the territory well." Ding Qiuruo had already figured out what to do next in her heart. After the decision was made, Zhou Bai began to select candidates for the starting guard. The ranking given by the system is only based on combat effectiveness, but the escort team requires more than just combat effectiveness. Zhou Bai picked people and followed Zhou Jingping to discuss and determine the candidates, as well as the team members that Zhou Jingping wanted. She decided to divide the team into two teams, and they would take turns guarding the territory. When one group was guarding, the other group could do other tasks. After confirmation, Zhou Bai made a selection on the control panel. After completing the selection, a new notification popped up on the page. "Dear host, you have selected personnel for your escort team. Please provide exclusive clothing and weapons for your escort team. Would you like to purchase them?" After pondering for a moment, Zhou Bai still chose yes. This is a future fighter who can still provide some benefits. Immediately after, the shopping mall opened in front of Zhou Bai with great ease. Item: Leather Armor 3-piece set drawing, Introduction. A must-have for manufacturing leather armor 3-piece sets, clothing, pants, boots, purchase price. 10 silver coins, selling price. 20 silver coins, note. Reusable, asterisk, item. Drawing of long spear, introduction. Essential for making long spears, purchase price. 50 silver coins, selling price. 1 gold coin, note. Reusable. Asterisk, dear host, considering your love for the escort team, the system rewards a new product of leather armor 3-piece set, green, and spear, bronze. After purchasing the materials, they will be made by the tailor shop and blacksmith shop. After successful production, the shop can add this product. To make a 3-piece leather armor set, you need 1 leather armor set drawing, 1 iron ore set, 10 animal skin set, and 2 linen sets. Making a spear requires 10 iron ore and 20 wood. Zhou Bai didn't expect to have the chance to add 2 products to his territory by chance, so he didn't hesitate to buy them. These days, she still felt the benefits brought by the circulation of goods. She spends more, but as long as she can sell it, she earns money, and thus finds the pleasure of managing her territory. Under this premise, she is willing to bear the initial investment. In addition, through the acquisition in the past 2 days, she has accumulated a lot of wood and animal skins in her hands, which she does not need to purchase from this unscrupulous merchant in the system, saving a lot of money and making it even more enjoyable for her to buy. After buying the materials, the blacksmith shop and the tailor shop each added 1 more product. Zhou Bai first bought 20 copies and then put them on the shelves for 10 each. After packaging the goods into the guard gift package, the system immediately issued an employment notice to the selected person. Zhou Jinping received the notification as soon as possible. Congratulations, after selection, you have become a member of the Escort team and become the captain of the Escort team. Please gather your teammates as soon as possible. The list is as follows. Feng Liji, Quan Ziqiang. Congratulations, you have received the Escort Team Gift Pack, Leather Armor 3-piece set, green, and long spear, bronze. After seeing the content, he looked at Zhou Bai and raised his eyebrows. You're really willing. He didn't even notice that spending money no longer showed the same expression of heartache as before. I have really made progress. However, besides carrying too much responsibility for a territory, having such a well-managed territory will make the Lord's life better than others in this apocalyptic game. It seems that with the development of the territory, his daughter has gradually found a balance between the territory and herself. Not bad. Receiving Zhou Jinping's insightful gaze, Zhou Bai smiled with a straight and strong smile. She was very clear that her carefulness was something her father could see through, but so what? People can't have any unique hobbies of their own. Zhou Jinping couldn't help but rub Zhou Bai's head and said directly, after receiving the notice, those people should come to me. I'm busy. Well, my mother is just walking around the territory, Zhou Bai replied. Subsequently, Zhou Jinping walked towards the crowded area. After Zhou Jinping left, Ding Qiulua also took the opportunity to masturbate. Xiao Bai is so cute. Zhou Bai. Does she want to save face as a lord? But to be honest, she has become increasingly accustomed to the profession of lord. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Land of Hope. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Land of Hope. At the same time, other people in the territory also saw notices one after another. I have been selected. What did you choose? The Escort team. Yes, you sent me a notification. Why did you suddenly send a notice? Shouldn't there be a selection? Who said there was no selection? The territory must have its own way of selection. Hey, I don't have a chance anymore. I thought I could be selected. Envy. I have also received a notification. There is also a big gift package. Big gift package. What's inside? Just clothing and weapons. During the conversation, someone showed off their clothing and weapons. Item. Leather armor 3-piece set, green, introduction. Defense increased by 20%, defense. Can withstand 50 damage, durability. 100 out of 100, if it is less than 20%, please go to the tailor's shop for repair, item. Spear, grade. Bronze, introduction. Can deal with ordinary warcraft at levels 1.9, with an attack power bonus of 10%, damage. 60, durability. 120/120, if it is less than 20%, please go to a blacksmith shop for repair. Looking at the data of the items, there were constant exclamations on the scene. This treatment is too good, isn't it? A 50 silver coin iron axe, the data is slightly lower than this. Mainly, this long spear is very useful. It's much more useful than an iron axe. Will the Escort team recruit people in the future? I want it. If you want, you can go buy it. The tailor shop and blacksmith shop have put on the same clothing and weapons as the guards. Really? I just came back from over there. I wanted to inform everyone, but I didn't expect it to be due to the Escort team. I looked at the prices of 20 silver coins and 60 silver coins. The territory is really willing. Everyone discussed and became even more envious of the selected guards. In fact, 80 silver coins are still affordable for many people, but can it be the same as what they bought for free? Originally, I only had the idea of giving the guards a try, but now it's a bit regrettable. However, faintly, there was also an idea slowly emerging from within. That is to strive to improve oneself and be selected as the next guardian in the territory. Just, how do you get selected? Thinking of this, everyone's gaze wandered back and forth on the selected guard mountains, looking at what charm they possessed that could conquer their territories. Can you ask the other party for their data? The guard who was being watched noticed the scorching gaze on himself, feeling a little uneasy. They feel like meat bones being targeted by dogs. Zhou Jinping came into their sight at this moment. In the territory, everyone's name is still very obvious. The guard who just received the notification has long remembered one of the words. Please report to your captain Zhou Jinping as soon as possible. The resident of Hope Village, Zhou Jinping, in front of us is their captain of the Escort team. Several people rushed straight towards Zhou Jinping in an instant, their eyes shining brightly. They haven't recovered from the excitement of being selected yet. Captain. I'm Feng Liji. Captain. I am Quan Jiqiang. And a few people on the side also listened and couldn't help but speak out. My captain seems to be named Li Xingtong. Are there two captains? Yes, there should be two. My team roster consists of only 9 people, Zhou Jinping said with a smile as he saw someone muttering, but no matter which team it is, it will always be a member of the Escort team in the future. Everyone can get to know each other first. So, a group of selected guards gathered around Zhou Jinping. In a brief moment, Zhou Jinping became familiar with everyone, and he estimated their personalities to be around the corner. He also mapped the data he obtained from Zhou Bai yesterday to each other. Looking at their lively appearance, other residents couldn't help but come forward to inquire about their situation. Many people have thought that it is only the second day of the apocalyptic game now, and the level difference will not be very large. The selection of territory and people should not have much to do with level, so only one is left, character attributes. Personal attributes themselves should be confidential. Zhou Jinping looked at the restless expressions in the eyes of these people, pondered for a moment, and first explained his attributes. Zhou Jinping said that others are no longer hiding. Personal attributes may also have the opportunity to change in the future, but it's not a big deal to be known now. After speaking, everyone else looked at Zhou Jinping with different eyes. Indeed, many people have compared the personal attributes of several Escort teams that have reported attributes, and the overall data is not lower than 5. But Zhou Jinping's attributes still flashed to them, no wonder he became the captain of the Escort team. However, many people are convinced of this result and have a rough idea of the path ahead. Looking out of their territory, their eyes are eager to try. Attribute points, I heard that killing Warcraft can drop them. At this time, a team appeared outside the territory. The eyes of all residents unconsciously lit up. Someone has returned. It was Li Xingtong's team who returned. He had originally planned to come back later, but suddenly received his acceptance and became the captain of the escort team, and he was already lost in thought outside. But what I didn't expect was that as soon as they stepped into their territory, they were immediately surrounded by people, their eyes still full of enthusiasm. Li Xingting's thoughts couldn't help but diverge for a moment. Perhaps it was because he knew he was the captain of the escort team and came to welcome him. How is the situation outside? Is it dangerous? Has the number of warcraft increased? What about the level? Have you seen any other teams? Li Xingting immediately understood their purpose as he listened to their topic and politely informed him, there have been more warcraft and their level has also increased, but the impact is not significant. Instead, it is easier to reap rewards. However, if you want to travel, remember to have more people in the team. Upon hearing Li Xingting's answer, the others finally felt at ease. After thanking them, they quickly began to gather their troops and leave. Watching them eagerly as if they were about to go out and have a big fight, Li Xingting muttered to himself, what exactly happened? However, in the next moment, Li Xingting couldn't think much anymore. His gaze fell on Zhou Jingping and his group not far away, where he saw several familiar names. They are the escort team, right? His gaze lingered around Zhou Jingping, who was in the center of the crowd, before he withdrew his gaze. I'll take care of the escort team first, and I'll contact you later when I have time. You guys take a break first. After settling in the original team members, Li Xingting led 2 team members towards Zhou Jingping. With the addition of 3 of them, a 20-person escort team is fully assembled. Li Xingting's team members looked at him and quickly reported to him. Just after Li Xingting confirmed to report to his teammates on the panel, a new notice was uploaded to the panel of each guard team member. The identity of the escort team has been confirmed. At the next moment, the name above their heads had changed. Hope Village Guard Team. Everyone immediately noticed, looking at the names on the heads of other people, a special sense of belonging arose in their hearts. When their identities were confirmed, Zhou Bai also received the message. Dear host, your territory's Hope Village has officially established a guard team. Please issue a task to your guard team, task, plus, selectable targets. Guard Team 1, Zhou Jingping, Guard Team 2, Li Xingting. Seeing that the system had a formal task system, Zhou Bai didn't hesitate to add the plan he had already decided on. Task 1. Defend the territory and maintain territorial order. Nature. Daily tasks, reward. Salary bonus of 20%, execution object. Captain's decision, asterisk, task 2. Assist in killing monsters within the territory and rescue refugees. Nature. Daily tasks, reward. Personal distribution of rewards, target audience. Guard Team 1, Guard Team 2, these 2 tasks are the main tasks in the near future, and the first task is relatively easy. Zhou Bai let them decide for themselves. The second task is what Zhou Bai is more concerned about. The first point is that killing warcraft can increase the security of the territory and also elevate the level of the escort team. Secondly, in the current situation where she has abundant funds, she does not mind having more people in the territory. With more people, the territory can obtain more resources and labor, and correspondingly, its combat power has also become stronger. She doesn't know the strength of other territories, she only knows that she needs to improve the strength of her own territory as much as possible within a month. Another point is that, if one has the ability, it is also good to save more compatriots. According to the current situation, the earlier the rescue, the more people will survive. At the next moment, the task was directly released. At the first moment, all members of the escort team received the message. At the moment of seeing the news, Li Xingting's eyes lit up even brighter. This territory is indeed capable of doing things. The desire to do things slowly rose and looked directly at Zhou Jingping. Since we are all members of the escort team, everyone has their own business and quantity. Who has reason to listen to who? He wants to become the leader of the team in the future, but he also needs to have the ability to persuade others. He will compete fairly with Zhou Zhengping and speak with his own strength. At this moment, Zhou Zhengping also understood Li Xingting's meaning. From the first meeting yesterday, he knew that Li Xingting was an ambitious person. Previously, he was worried that Li Xingting would resort to any means, but at this moment, he understood clearly. As long as one can control it well, ambitious people also have a huge impact on their territory. Okay. After a moment, all members of the escort team put on their exclusive leather three-piece suit, equipped with long spears, and stormed out of the territory. Watching their departing figures, some of the residents who stayed in the territory felt a strong sense of security for some reason. Thinking of the name of my own territory again, the corners of my mouth slightly curled up. Hope Village. It seems like a place with hope. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Rescue Survivors. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Rescue Survivors. At this moment, a group of people are resting by a river not far from Hope Village. Starting from yesterday's apocalyptic game, most of them gradually learned to fight against Warcraft while running away, and dropped a lot of supplies from Warcraft, allowing them to survive. However, water is not included in the supplies, so they basically have to search for water during the migration process. As for why they migrated, it was naturally because they had not yet found a safe place. When they stayed in one place and cleaned up nearby Warcraft, but after a while, Warcraft came towards them as if they could smell it. I have no choice but to run and rest everywhere. During migration, there may occasionally be people who are left alone, and most of them will join the team. But people have increased and also decreased. After all, when Warcraft attacks, everyone can only focus on themselves. Some people run slower and become undead souls under the claws of Warcraft. They also want to find a safer place, but after the gamification of the apocalypse, all they see around them are wilderness mountains. Where can they be safe? Thinking about it, they unconsciously felt a sense of drifting in their hearts, and they didn't know when they would be able to settle down. At this moment, some people who were scooping water by the river suddenly stopped moving. You have entered the jurisdiction of Hope Village and can go to Hope Village. Note: villages, towns, cities, and other territories can resist different levels of Warcraft based on their defense capabilities. After listening to the content and repeating it several times, someone spoke up. There is a safe place where we can resist Warcraft. I knew this game would give us a way out. The speaker's eyes instantly turned red, tears couldn't stop flowing down, and the rest of them looked similar. It's too difficult for them to transition from a comfortable life in Enron to primitive life at once. Subsequently, after everyone's emotions calmed down for a while, they quickly reorganized their team and headed towards the direction of Hope Village on the map. Unlike their previous confusion, they now have some more hope. But just after they walked a short distance, an accident broke out. A group of Warcraft emerged around them, surrounding them in groups. The people who have been promoted in the team couldn't help but look up at their numbers. Warcraft. Shadow Dog, level. ***, Introduction. The whole group is hunting, with a speed like a shadow. He is a jungle cleaner, be careful of him, he will leave you with no bones. Attribute. ***, obviously, the level of this group of shadow magic dogs is above theirs, which is why they cannot see their level and attributes. But with a few words in the introduction, they knew that this time it might be hanging. Looking at the greedy shadow demon dog in their eyes, many people feel a bit overwhelmed. However, thinking about their fragile lives, many people still took out weapons and stood straight at the shadow dog. But in the eyes of the shadow devil dog, they had no deterrent power at all. With a light roar, they quickly attacked them and were ready to eat. Shadow dogs have intelligence, and they first choose people with weak breath in the team. And they, like their names, come and go without a trace, leaving wounds on many people in an instant. They then select targets in a few bites, bite their necks, and without hesitation, drag them away and nibble on them. No. Help. At the scene, Screams kept coming and going, and the crowd was in chaos. Some people cannot bear this stimulation and directly want to escape from the team. However, the Shadow Devil dogs have long regarded them as objects in their pockets, and would not allow them to leave. When encountering fleeing individuals, they would directly extend their claws and injure their legs, making it impossible for them to escape, and then go to deal with live prey. When Zhou Jingping and Li Xingting arrived with their team, they saw such a bloody scene. They knew that Warcraft and humans would soon turn into light clusters and disappear after death, but they never thought that before turning into light clusters, Warcraft could devour human flesh and blood, and after devouring them, these Warcraft could advance. Because just now, they saw one of the shadow magic dogs change its level from level 3 to level 4 after finishing eating humans. At this moment, they realized why Warcraft was so sensitive to their existence and saw them so crazy. They see Warcraft as a tool for leveling up and dropping items, and Warcraft also sees them as food for leveling up. The appearance of Zhou Jingping and Li Xingting instantly ignited hope for this group of people. After all, their equipment and weapons were particularly extraordinary. "Help us, please." Without much thought, a group of people joined the battle with weapons in hand. Along the way, they encountered many Warcraft and practiced with them. They were also familiar with the operation of long spears. Compared to close-range weapons like iron axes, long spears were actually safer for them. The spear began to poke marks on the shadow dog, and as the marks appeared, blood bars began to appear on the dog's head. A level 1 and level 2 shadow demon dog can deal 60 damage with a long spear and quickly attack 2 to 4 times to solve the problem. On the other hand, they are level 3 and level 4 shadow magic dogs. They can dodge, but some attacks cannot be implemented, making it much more difficult to fight. More importantly, the intelligence of level 4 shadow demon dogs is clearly higher. Knowing that Zhou Jingping's profession is not easy to deal with, and seeing their large number and strength, they began to shout loudly. With his cry, the other shadow dogs began to abandon their prey and began to surround the 4th level shadow dogs, charging towards him with the intention of opening a gap to escape. But Zhou Jingping and Li Xingting didn't give them this opportunity. They exchanged a glance, and they tacitly gave up using their long spears and started close combat with their iron axes. The other guards also followed suit. Next, even though the shadow demon dog left scars on their bodies and their health began to drop, they continued to chop relentlessly, knowing that both sides would never give up. Taking advantage of the number of people, the shadow magic dog was repeatedly hit, dropping health bars and dying one by one. Congratulations to the host. Kill the LV4 shadow dog and obtain 4 sharp teeth, 4 shadow boots, 40 experience points, and 40 copper coins. With the death of the leading shadow hound, this crisis has quietly come to an end. They have been rescued. The group of people who were rescued quickly realized this and collapsed on the ground, unable to move. And those who died under the mouth of the shadow devil dog, watching the blurry flesh and blood left behind, couldn't help but cry. Even though these flesh and blood will be refreshed and disappear by the game afterwards, the shadow that falls on their hearts will not disappear. Zhou Jingping sighed in his heart as he watched this scene. Just now they suddenly received a mission to go to the designated location to rescue the refugees, and a group of people hurriedly followed the map instructions. But it's still a bit late. Li Xingting stood up and comforted, "We are the guard team of Hope Village. Hurry up and pack up and go to our territory. Our territory can resist Warcraft, and once you arrive there, you will be safe." The word safety suddenly pierced the sensitive spot in their hearts. One by one, they immediately tidied up their mood and prepared to leave with them. As for the injured, there were also people helping to support them. After the gamification of the apocalypse, their bodies also seemed to be digitized. After being injured, their health points would also drop. However, as long as they receive timely treatment, their health points will slowly recover over time. Once their health points are restored, the injured wounds will also heal accordingly. Therefore, as long as a person is not dead, no one will give up. A group of people followed Zhou Zhengping and his group towards the direction of Hope Village, with some anticipation floating in their eyes. On the other side, Zhou Bai looked at dozens of small green dots coming towards the territory and felt slightly relaxed. Just received the news of refugees entering the territory, and instinctively glanced at it. After seeing the red dots slowly surrounding a group of green dots, she immediately assigned a task to the escort team. Fortunately, she managed to catch up, but Zhou Bai knew that the green dot had disappeared better, which made her mood a bit heavy. In this apocalyptic game, human life is too fragile. If she hadn't been lucky enough to obtain the Lord token, the whole family would have been in trouble. Is everything okay? Ding Qiuruo looked at Zhou Bai's changing expression and worried. It's okay, we're on our way back now, but many people died before they arrived, Zhou Bai said simply. Ding Qiuruo listened with a hint of sadness on her face, but she comforted Zhou Bai and said, "You have already done what you need to do, don't think too much." Zhou Bai understood that in this apocalyptic game, thinking too much is putting himself in a difficult position. Instead of thinking about the dead, it's better to think about how to build a territory so that it can protect oneself, protect family, and protect others. Immediately, Zhou Bai's gaze fell onto the Lord's map. The effect of small green dots and small red dots is too great. We need to make good use of it. Also, it is necessary to let people outside the territory know that there is such a territory, so that they have a place to go, and at the same time, let the territory have more sources of combat power. End of this chapter.